What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cat and Beats, and welcome to another episode of Mixing and Mastering in the Box featuring Ableton 10.1. Alright, this time around we are going to be solely mixing with Ableton 10.1, checking out the new features. And we have this song here, which is awesome. You can already check out the release down below. And we're going to be remixing it again for fun's sake. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little session. Let's first start with how I always start. I kind of have this way of doing the drums, then the bass, then the vocals, then the harmonics. So this first episode is just going to be on the drums and doing a little bit of trickery here and there. First and foremost, let's just set the volume level of the kick drum, because from there on, I will be able to mix everything around it. So right now, we're playing at about -4. So let's pop that down just two of them or so there's between -10, -6, so I have a little bit of headroom and I can play with the sound without clipping it all too fast. If I just listen to this kick drum by itself, I kind of want to do a cleanup session for it. I don't know if you've noticed, but at the end of the kick drum there's a so let's just get rid of that. So I'll just do this with some volume shaping on this thing and fix that first, and then after that we'll continue with EQing and all the mixing stuff. So let's just get stuff away for a second. There's a little bit of a thump somewhere, so I'm just gonna cut this out, and then maybe the kick drum will just work in one go. Let's try out 2 kick drums in a row. No, there's still let's try and cut it down a bit more so it's a little bit more tight. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we'll keep that kick drum instead of the other one because it just sounds a little bit funky with that at the back of it. Let's try out the new EQ. We have the EQ channel, which is a 3-band EQ. And let's see what we can do here. We can cut. Let's not do that. We can change the midband. Okay, great. Let's use that midband already and just cut significantly in that dirty sound that's there. Okay, let's get a little bit of high. Let's also try that really quick with an EQ8, because I think I have a little bit more control with the EQ8. First and foremost, get rid of this sound, because it's just a little bit much. And most kick drums will have some issue in this area, so always have a swipe around. This one is significantly bad though. Alright, and then let's give it a little bit of top. Maybe a little bit of boost at the bottom here. Nah. Just check out what this is. Probably notched a little bit too much out of it, but now let's give it a little shootout between the two. Ooh, and let's turn off these things and see which one we like more. And I know you're supposed to check the kick drum with the mix and yada yada, but I like EQ channel more. Yay. Okay, so that's that for the kick. Not too much to mess with, but now when we open up the clap, there is quite a lot of noise in there. So we have some type of chord playing in the back, which is a little bit annoying. There is already some type of reverb on it. And I don't really like that. So instead of doing that, let's make a MIDI clip, and that is with this. Yes. And let's get a drum rack, and we're going to use the sampler to really hone in on the sound itself. So I'll just get this little sound here and just cut this one out and bring it over to the drum rack. There we go. And I don't like the classic shot or slice function. I'm really classic. I like my sampler. And with the sampler, there's a, wait, turn the snap off for a second. With the sampler, there's a function for the filter over here, filter global, and then we have an ADSR here. So I kind of want to just set my ADSR so that it works as a prettier gate than the gate within Ableton itself. So it's just a little bit more refinement and love there. Let's just put those claps on so that we have them playing where we need them to play. Let's turn this off and let's fix the clap. I always turn everything red that I'm not going to be using anymore. So just put that at the top for a second. And it's just a reminder to myself to fix it a little bit later on. Anyway, let's get the clap here and let's just turn it down as well. Release. There we go. You can also adjust the attack. About there. So now that we have a clap that's a little bit more sorted, let's just EQ it really quick. And what I like doing as well, actually we can use the EQ channel again. What I like doing as well is to de-ess a little bit later, because sometimes you get these claps and they go back right in your eardrum and you kind of want like a little bit of a smooth type of sound sometimes. So, okay, so it's already cut. That's just the boost. All right, let's try and look around. There's some type of metallic sound in there. That's part of the actual what's it called? The plate reverb that's used and bounced down on top of this whole thing. But I'll keep that the way it is. I think it's EQ'd all right. I also want to do a quick little check if we're not too mid-sidey. So I'm just going to take this for a second and we're going to put this in mid-side mode, put one mono and put one in stereo. Turn them both off, get your keys out, and then I always have this on number 4 and this on number 5. Then I can check out the side information. Okay, that's okay. I think I can live with that. Most of the time, if the clap is way too out of whack, then I kind of want to pull it in a little bit. But I think that's all right. Now, let's check out the hi-hat as well. Let's just see what that sounds like. Okay, that is really, 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 really wide. Now that my ears are attuned to the width a little bit. There's your width of the clap, and you're... Yeah. Jesus Christ. So let's play with that hi-hat a bit and get a utility and just use that width knob to turn it down. And let's EQ this a little bit so it's not so like... Let's just cut a little bit away. I'll leave that the way that is for a second. But now let's do a little trick with this hi-hat, because it's, you know, it's a bouncy type of track, so we need to get it all bouncy and nice. Now, then also a new part of Ableton is the delay, and the delay now also has a ping pong built into it. Anyway, let's put the dry, wet, full, wet, and I want to get a 16th bounce, but that 16th bounce of the hi-hat, or 1/8 dotted would be nice too, to be like the second hit of the hi-hat, but instead of having the hi-hat that's in the middle, so it's ein, zwei, drei, vier, that kind of feeling. If you get that second beat a little bit wide, then it's nice, because then you get that bounce, because this track is bouncy. So let's just pop that in here for a second. See what we got. Okay, that's okay. Let's try to feed. You can't sync these two together? Oh, that's unfortunate. How would I turn off the sync? Oh. Okay. Let's just do it with time instead, because I think this will be, yeah, this is a little bit easier. Okay, that's a little bit too much bounce. Let's go 3, 7, 1. That's too tight. 2, 6, 5. Okay, I like that because it's like a little bit delayed. It's like a little bit of a drunk man swing type of thing. So let's now filter it out so that it feels like a real person playing a hi-hat. Cool, and now let's image it out. I'm going to use the Ozone imager for that because it's just easy to use. So let's just bounce that out. And now let's turn down the volume a little bit of that. And now we have a cool little vibe going on. I'm thinking of maybe changing the time just a tad so that we repitch it. So let's just use an LFO tool. It's called LFO here. Let's just repitch the time just a tad. Wow, this is hello. And we just put this down in the rate, and the depth needs to go all the way down as well. Let's just map. Can I map both of them? Yes, okay, but then I can't map it exactly to that 360 time. That's a little bit annoying. So let's offset it to that 360 area. Oh god.
24 hours later.
Okay, let's try that out just to see, because it will repitch and it'll be nice. Okay, it's a little bit funky, but it can work. Alright, so now that we have that, and that, what I want to do is quickly set up a reverb for that clap as well. Then we have a drum room. I love Ableton's standard reverb. There's many people saying like, no, it's not good, but I love it. So we are at a BPM of 125, so about 900 on the delay time would be fine. Decay time, I mean, and then just smack that in there, and then only have it to flavor it in. Okay, let's flavor this back down a bit. And I want to do one little thing to this delay part as well. I have a automatic Boots and Cats knob. You can check out a link in the description below where I explain how this thing works, but let's just pop that in. Cool. And there's one more tiny little thing I want to do. I kind of want to have a reversed clap as well to pop in. So let's just pop that in here as well. So let's just put a Command T, and I always call this like Indiana Jones's whip, but what I'm actually going to be doing is just getting that sucking in sound. So it goes that kind of sound, which is just cool to me. Let's pop that in there and really slowly suck into the clap every single time. Like that, and then we'll just duplicate that over, and then we have a really cool You know what I mean? And what we can still do on top of that is, instead of this being shiklack, we can get a chichiklack. Which would mean that it's on a 1/12 LFO time. This is just coming to me now, by the way. So let's just put this on a 1/12. Yeah, like there. Right? And then you have that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 bounce. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave that as is for this video, and then next video we're gonna go through getting the compression right, and then adding in the little top loop and getting that really fat feel for this track. I hope you've enjoyed this session. I'll see you guys again next week, Thursday. Make sure to like, subscribe, and if you are on Patreon, this project file will be available for you to download and completely deconstruct again and do something else with. Much love. Peace out.